What's flattening my buds? We're here to clear the air about Antarctica. Avenged Lust says, I'm confused. It's apparently illegal to go to Antarctica, so they had to fake the footage. But that doesn't really explain where they went, though. It was just ad hoc. Okay, it's not inherently illegal to go to Antarctica. The Antarctic Treaty does say free exploration is not prohibited. Okay, you can't go out there on your own. Can you purchase vacation packages to Antarctica? Yes. Yes. This is a straw man to say it's just illegal to get to Antarctica. So anybody who goes out there, it's illegal. They're not doing it. That's just not true whatsoever. That is not true. McToon tried to straw man the same thing. It's not true. You can purchase vacation packages that have already approved you to go. America has already gotten authorization from the UN to send vacationers to Antarctica, to specific places in Antarctica, not just anywhere. You can't go out there and wander off. Witsit right here could not have just started walking out to these mountains. Somebody surely would have stopped him and said, hey, you can't go out there. You got to stay within the camp perimeters, okay? It is not inherently illegal to go to Antarctica. We all know people go to Antarctica, whether they're working there or they go to vacation. But have you ever seen anybody take their own boat or their own plane and go to Antarctica? No. No, you have never seen that ever. For one, it's extremely hard. It requires a lot of resources and money. And most people don't have that. Most people aren't even worried about going to Antarctica. Unless they're going on a vacation. Which is exactly what these guys did. They went to a tourist spot. A tourist spot. You understand? So if they were in Antarctica, if they're in a tourist spot that has already given them permissions to go out here, without any of this, if you were just going by yourself, you would have to contact America, the American government, hit them up and say, I'm trying to go to Antarctica. And they would say, you need to be approved for that. They would then have to request the signatures from every other holder or signature who is on the Antarctic Treaty to sign off and agree, yes, this person is allowed to go out there. They've all already agreed to send tourists. But no person like myself can jump in my own plane or my own boat and go out there. That would be illegal. But what they did was went on a vacation package. Okay? That's it. They have been lumped in to the approvals to get them to Antarctica. That's it. Hope that clears the air, folks. Stay flat, my buds.
So the NASA moon mission is delayed again. Yeah, that's right. The Artemis program, which started in 2017, delayed their moon mission once again till this time, 2027. So check this out by contrast. The Artemis program, which was started in 2017, is delaying their moon mission till supposedly 2027 at the earliest. Well, the Apollo mission started in 1961, and supposedly they landed a man on the moon in less than 8 years. Guys, you following what I'm saying here? It took them less time in the 1960s to build their program all the way to the moon than it takes now. So the logical conclusion is, guys, they're not going back to the moon anytime soon because they can't go to the moon and they never could. I mean, you guys don't really believe they live streamed from the moon in 1969 and talked to the president from a landline in 1969. But they can't go today. Come on, guys, just admit it was silly to ever believe them. NASA, not a space agency.
Alright guys, I just have a couple of questions. Maybe you guys can help me answer this. So they're telling us that the moon is 238,000 miles away, and they're also telling us that Mars is 199 million miles away. And yet we have a Mars rover on Mars giving us videos and pictures. But just in case you guys forgot, Mars is also spinning around the sun like we are. Now again guys, all I'm doing is just asking questions. But let me get this straight. We can get to this, which is 199 million miles away, but simply can't get back to this, which is 0.2 million miles away. Oh, that's right. NASA and their astronauts saying that we can't get back to the moon because we lost the technology. But yeah, we can get to this. Let me remind you, which is 199 million miles away. But it just keeps getting worse and worse. They're also saying that the moon is tidally locked to the Earth, which we will never get to see the other side of it. It doesn't make sense because the theory of gravity that they use. But let's just say what they're saying is true, that the moon is a dusty rock in outer space that you can physically land on. Then why can't we land a device on it and we can all watch Earth spin? Because it is the same face we see every single day and every single night. They're telling us that we'll never get to see the other side of it. So it would only make sense that we could land something on it and we could all watch Earth spin. Again, guys, it's super crazy of them to say that we can land on this, which is 199 million miles away, that we have a Mars rover on Mars giving us videos and pictures, but simply can't get back to this. But if you ask me, Mars might be a lot closer than we might think. Like seriously, guys, come on.
Nobody that believes in flat Earth thinks that the Earth is suspended in space and that it's just a pancake and that we're the only ones that are flat. Space is fake. It's just us. Yes, we are special. We're created by God. When I was younger, I loved astronomy, but it's not real. Like, literally none of it is real. Find me a picture from NASA that doesn't look like CGI. Find just one.
M. Compton Encyclopedia, edition 1954 maps. This is from 70 years ago. An altered knowledge. I recommend getting at least a 50-year-old encyclopedia set or older for anyone looking for real truth.
Check out what a difference a decade makes. We got these two encyclopedias. They're 10 years apart. One's 1950 and the other one's 1960. Check this out. We got these at a thrift store.
No, we didn't. Not enough for that.
Okay, whatever. It's a flat map, guys. Flat map. 1950s. 1950 Encyclopedia Americana. Look at that. Flat map. Now we go to the 1960 World Book Encyclopedia. Now all of a sudden, we've got a globe on there. Our globe. 10 years difference. We go from flat map to globe. And this thing is old. There we go. 1960s. You're gonna really trip on this. Earth. This is the one we were just talking about. 1960.
So, as you can see, this is, the North Pole. And all around it is, you guessed it, Antarctica. This map has the North Pole as the mathematical center. From it, true distance to any part of the world can be measured. Such a projection shows to advantage the Great Circle routes used in navigation which pass near the Arctic Circle. Polar projection maps are indispensable to a global-minded nation.
Okay, bear with me. I'm going to show you what a congressman was talking about on the 3rd. Now, you have to read in between the lines on what these people are talking about. At the end of the video of him talking, I'm going to connect the dots for you and show you, couple it with the map.
People have no idea, really no idea, about the immensity of the threat in space. And I've made this comment in a classified setting, that I wish the American people could be present in this room. Not this room, but the skiff, because Our adversaries know what they are doing. We know what they are doing. They know we know what they are doing. But the American people have no idea. But if they were privy to what we hear, and you know it much better than we do because you live it, I think they'd be pretty alarmed. This is not by way of criticism of you, because you're living with the strictures of what is classified and not. But I think we have a real obligation to explain to the American people why space is a domain that matters, why the threats there are real and urgent, why they are growing in importance. So I think we all agree here that space is an important domain. Undersea warfare is an important domain.
You may need to pause to read this, but he is warning people. Shortly after that, they came up with the treaty. These are all the people that are part of the treaty. You may need to pause and zoom in on all of these. So basically, the treaty says that we cannot go past the 60 degrees south, which is right here in the water. Right in the water, right in between all the lands and the ice wall. If you go on Yale University, their website, you're able to pull this up and it'll have the little indicators that show you where the 60 degrees south is in the water. They're literally watching you. There are sensors in the water. Couple that with the satellites that are watching you from the air. As soon as you get off your continent, whatever rock you're living on, and you get too far out there in the water, they're watching you. They will come and they will turn you around. Now, unless you pay thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to take a guided tour to the peninsula, right? Or a guided flyby, you cannot independently go and explore Antarctica. If you work there, there are protocols that you have to follow where you have to stay at your science lab. Now, they say they have the treaty to protect the penguins and also to keep the peace. But keep the peace from who exactly? And because I know you guys won't go look things up for yourself, I'm going to go ahead and show you where the 60 degrees south is on the map. And I'm going to show it to you in the treaty. The provisions of this treaty shall apply to the south, 60 degrees south. All ice shelves. Coming back to the Gleason's map, now I'm going to zoom in on it for you. 60. Arctic Circle. This is the ice wall. Keep in mind, these world organizations use that map as their logo. They all know. International Civil Aviation Organization.
It's ridiculous to think that someone can live on a ball, to think that water could wrap itself around a spinning ball, to think that people could be on the bottom, upside down, because some magical thing called gravity is allowing it to happen.
So the water should be pouring into space then?
Everything should be pulled into space, into the so-called vacuum of space if there's no covering. If we have no covering, our atmosphere, our waters, everything should be sucked into.
So you think we're in a dome?
Absolutely.
One of the comments that always pops up when I go live on this app talking about the Earth not being a ball is, "Oh mate, have you never been on a plane? I've seen the curve from a plane." But as you can see from the footage, there's no detectable curvature even at 37,000 feet. But what I did notice is all the tiny black particles stuck to the window of the plane. And we know what that is, don't we? The main thing that this video is representing is the fact that the horizon is always going to rise to meet the eye level of the observer. Because looking out this window of the plane, I wasn't having to tilt my head down because the Earth was curving away from me. The horizon was rising to meet the eye level of me, the observer, because it's a plane. It's a convergence point. So in my opinion, we don't actually have a physical horizon. It's simply the sky meeting the Earth due to perspective. At what point does sea level become sea curve? The physics of this stuff tell us that it will always seek to find and maintain its own level. And just a reminder, we're told in the opening chapter of the Bible, Genesis, that God separates the waters. It creates an expanse between the waters above to separate it from the waters below, and he calls it the firmament. In the firmament, he places the sun, the moon and the stars for days, months and seasons. So for me, the physics of water, observations in nature, what we see, feel and observe with our own eyes tell us exactly what's going on. And the heliocentric model is completely flawed at this point. This isn't theoretical anymore. We can see what's going on because the truth is always in plain sight, as it always has been. And the deceivers of the world, they're struggling now. They're panicking because we're starting to see through the lies. And on the other side of the lies being torn apart and the truth being told, we have the freedom.
I've made this 3D model a while ago, but I think it's best if I show it again and explain it better this time. This is the correct dimensions they give us for the Earth, and it's 12,742 kilometers across. I've done it full size in Blender, even though it can give bugs. You know, it becomes a bit weird, but I wanted it to be accurate. Alright, so as we zoom in, I've made the Willis Tower, which is here on Lake Michigan. And when we go close to it, we'll go down to the ground level. I have put this horizon line here. Okay, so this is what reality does, is the horizon rises to eye level. So as we ascend up, you'll see the horizon stays right where it is, and we keep going up, horizon stays there. But you'll notice the Earth dropped down. With a physical curvature, you would have a physical horizon that drops down as you go up in altitude. And so if I turn this horizon line off, you can still see the Earth drops down, put the horizon back on. This is where the horizon is in reality, but this is where it would be on a ball. And if you go up to, this is how high planes fly, 30,000 feet. That's how tall this marker is. And we sit on top of it. This is how it would look like from a plane. This is how it actually looks in reality, and this is how it should look if we lived on a ball, all the way down there. So as you ascend more, you'll see the horizon keeps dropping down because you're on a physical ball. But reality demonstrates that it's flat. The horizon rises to eye level in reality, but that wouldn't be the case if we lived on a ball. They've lied to you, and I'm trying to help. That horizon stays exactly where it was, but the curvature is all the way down there, and I'll prove it. I hope this has helped, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you deserve the truth.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.